Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome to Channel Update 9 Live. This is live on Twitch, which is not normally how I do the channel updates. So Twitch chat will be popping up in the bottom left of your screen, and I wanted to do that partly because I haven't been streaming as much, and partly just because I've always wanted to try doing a live version of this, because I think it actually works pretty well. It allows for some amount of Q&A throughout, and it kind of feels like the type of content that makes sense to do live. So that's what we're going to try. So make sure to follow on Twitch if you're interested in participating in these live moving forward. Assuming I do them live moving forward, maybe this becomes a complete failure. I guess we'll find out. Nice. Yeah, a typo on your hi YouTube. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some Patreon shoutouts as usual. I'll give a brief personal update on the personal news stuff just because I want to keep you guys in the loop on that. I'll talk about the pre-recording versus Twitch, and then I'll talk about a new project, and then we'll discuss February. So I just want to give you all a quick reminder that Patreon is the best way to support the channel. I've had people ask me from time to time. That is the best way. If you're interested in a one-time donation, I can give you my PayPal. That would be the second best way to do it. Or, well, that's probably the best way to do a one-time. Another way to do a one-time is just subscribe on Patreon and immediately cancel, because it's on the setting where it charges not on the first of the month, but just when you sign up. So that's another way to do a one-time donation. The other methods like Twitch subs and YouTube views and memberships and all that, those are just a lot lower. Excuse me. Stream sneezing is a real thing, and I don't know why. I'd love to hear if anyone has a scientific reason, but I've Googled it and other people talk about the same thing. Maybe it's the talking triggers something. Anyway, total tangent. But all that to say, you know, I also want to mention you are not obligated to support me. Just like the fact that you're viewing this video, however you're viewing it, is supporting me, and just participating or even lurking is supporting me. And I want you guys to feel like you're not being pressured into supporting me out of obligation or guilt or anything. But obviously, you know, if you feel like it's something you want to contribute to because you get a large amount of enjoyment out of it and it's worth a financial piece of support to you, then I welcome that. And thank you for those who do. Specifically, thanks to Orbidon, Chris A, Thorgal S, and Correlated for becoming / upgrading your Patreon subscription in this last month of January. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So, personal news update. I don't actually have too much to say that I haven't said before, which is good news, right? Like, if I were saying, you know, a lot of shit's gone down and stuff is bad, that would not be good news. That still being the case, like, I've still had a lot of really hard weeks in the last month, which there's only 4 weeks, and probably 2 or 3 of them I would classify as hard weeks. So it's not been a great month, but that's kind of life right now. And I just don't think there's too much there is to do about that. Like, this is just the season of life I'm in. So right now I'm focusing on like coping skills and being able to find joy and peace in the midst of turmoil and tough stuff, because right now there's not really a solution to like, oh, I can just remove those tough things from my life. So focusing on the things that I can control, that's obviously the way to go. It's not easy, and a lot of days I do just, you know, practice my escape mechanisms and do, you know, I don't do doom scrolling specifically, which I don't know how I managed to escape that particular addiction, but I did. But, you know, my version of doom scrolling is watching like engineering YouTube videos for an hour straight on, you know, Smarter Every Day or Vsauce or, you know, Stuff Made Here, those types of channels. I recommend all of those, by the way, and all the ones that are like those. And I can just get lost in that rabbit hole for, you know, an hour or two because I find it fascinating. But that's kind of my version of doom scrolling. It's educational, but it's not really, I'm not really doing anything with my life in those hours that I do that. And that's kind of my version of doom scrolling, just to delete time. And obviously, the more that you do that, the less you participate in your own life. And so focusing on, you know, being able to take some of that time back for myself is one of my goals, because you do need to escape a little bit when you're doing hard things, but if all you're doing is escaping, that can be problematic as well. So, I want a balance, and I don't think I've been particularly great at that. And so that's just where I'm at right now. And, you know, as far as content creation goes, it can be tricky when, you know, you're at a low and you don't have any motivation and the job is not one that you have to clock into. It can be really hard to summon that motivation. I've always struggled with self-motivation just in general. And so this job, it like, in that way, it's not good. It's not the right job for me. You know, like it would be better if somehow I had a boss, but it's like, I don't want a boss for content creation, but if somehow there was like some sort of actual workplace that I went into with a, you know, but like you can't manufacture that for yourself, because if you do, you know, you've manufactured it and it doesn't really work. So I think you guys get what I'm saying, but that's always been hard for me. Hello, Dave. Welcome. So yeah, anyway, all that I wanted to kind of get across with this section is just that, like, I'm doing okay. I'm not amazing, but I'm working on some things. And honestly, life is just kind of hard right now, and that's where we're at. So I'll continue to update you guys in the future videos. You know, at some point there will probably be a space where I'll have to take some time off completely because of, you know, the death when that happens. So that's really hard, but I'm trying not to focus too much on that. Next, I want to talk about kind of the recent shift, which a lot of you already know, but I have shifted Pyanodons to being pre-recorded versus live streamed. And it's been a little bit of mixed results. I want to keep going with it because it hasn't been long enough yet to really collect data, but I've been surprised that the YouTube viewership hasn't shot up a little bit more compared to the YouTube episodes that I was releasing from the live streamed versions, because my thought had been, well, I'm doing a mixture of live streaming and uploading videos, and as soon as I stop live streaming, all of the people who are watching the live streams will now get vacuumed into watching these recorded YouTube videos, and the viewership will go up by quite a bit. And it really hasn't. I mean, it's gone up a little bit, but I don't even know if it's enough that I can say, you know, statistically, like this is increased, which has been interesting to me. And that points towards, I think, and I'm just talking purely financial and like channel viewership wise, that actually points towards the live streaming maybe being the better model, because it was getting at two slightly different groups of people. If you think about the Venn diagram of some people really enjoy live content and they only watch live content, some people only enjoy pre-recorded and only watch pre-recorded, and then there's like a big circle in the middle. And by doing only pre-recorded, I've lost some of the people who do the live stuff, and I've gained very few because I did it, first of all, I did it mid-series. And so anyone that really is like, oh, I'm not interested in watching videos where someone's face is on the screen and there's Twitch chat, those people have already given up on my Pi season 3, right? I'm not going to get those people back. They stopped watching at episode 1 and never came back. So to some level, I guess it kind of makes sense because I'm not going to gain a new set of people. I did think I'd at least get all the Twitch people coming over and the YouTube live people coming over and the people who watched the YouTube live VODs, because there are some people who prefer that. So there was 3 different categories, and I thought that would be at least 100 or 100 to 200 views a video that would be increased, and I haven't really seen that. So that's been interesting. Anyway, so that's the viewership side of this bullet point. But the other thing I'm paying attention to is like, how's it going for me? Am I feeling better about it? Am I feeling less obligation to stream in a way that's like making me stressed? Yes, and I don't really know if it's panned out yet to actually make me produce more content. I had a tough couple weeks in the last 2 weeks just on the personal end of life, and so it's hard to know what's what. Like, it's hard to sift out. Was my reluctance to do a lot of work in the last 2 weeks making a bunch of pre-recorded videos, was that because of life or was it because of the streaming stuff? You know, those are hard to sort out. So I'm working on all that. We'll figure it out. The experiment's going to continue for another few weeks at least, just because I want to give it some time. I think making snap judgments is not the best idea. So even though it seems like it's maybe not the best viewership wise, I don't want to conclude that just yet. So I do have some exciting news. There's a new project that I am working on and starting on, which is beginning DaVinci Resolve. I have been using Kdenlive since I started my YouTube channel, which is now over 4 years old. And it's funny because 4 years ago, when I looked into editing software, I wanted something free. Obviously, I was like, I'm going completely free and, you know, open source type stuff. Like, I'm not gonna, it doesn't have to be open source, but just free, you know, like I don't want to pay for anything. I don't have the money for that. This is back then, obviously it wasn't making me any money. I hadn't even started yet. So I was like, I'm going maximum cheap. I just want to start this thing. So I went with Kdenlive after some various Googlings. And unfortunately, I think I got unlucky with that because it really was a toss-up even at that time between DaVinci Resolve and Kdenlive. And it's become increasingly clear to me over the years that DaVinci Resolve would have been the best choice. They also have the studio version, which is wonderful because you pay for it once and then you own it, unlike Adobe, which I will never pay for. And I don't really believe in pirating. That's a whole different conversation, but I'm not going to pirate Adobe either. So I'm not going to be using Adobe. So the paid version of DaVinci Resolve is my eventual goal. I'm just going to start using the free version for a while to see how I feel about it, but it's going to require some getting used to, because I've done a decent amount of video editing, you know, I've never been an edited channel, but I was editing every single video of Greg Tech New Horizons. I've done quite a few edited videos along the way. My channel updates get edited. You know, there have been a lot of other videos that I've loaded in and cut out certain things. And so I've just gotten used to using Kdenlive. All that to say, I'm going to be practicing with DaVinci Resolve. So I was like, I want a new edited series. And I am really stuck figuring out what to do with that, because I want it to be heavily edited, you know, not just like I play for 3 hours and I cut out, you know, 5 minutes here and there and it ends up being an 1.5 hour video. I want more of like an actual production value to it, you know, and whether that's adding, and again, this is where I'm like, I don't know exactly which direction I'm taking yet. So I want comments from you guys. I want you guys to tell me what you think, and what you'd prefer. And I realize there's going to be a lot of different voices out there, but I want to hear what you guys have to say, because I could go, you know, with the like game review route where I play a game that's on the shorter end, or I play it for 10 hours. You know, if it's a longer game, I only play for 10 hours and then I review my experience. And that's one video, you know, 1 20-minute video or something. I could do stuff like that. I could do stuff where I do take on a longer game, but I edit it down quite a bit more. Kind of, you know, imagine what like Doc Jade does, maybe. Not cut like his. I don't think I could quite live up to that meme level. But the same idea of like, okay, I do a decent chunk of gameplay and put that in one video, rather than like Dosh Doshington, where it's like I do the entire mod pack and I do one video about it. I wouldn't want to cut stuff that much, but there's a wide range, right? You could just think about it as the ratio of recorded content to actual YouTube length. So I'm not exactly sure what I want that ratio to be, and I'm not exactly sure what I want the format of the videos to be. Do I want it to be guide videos? Do I want it to be review videos? Do I want it to just be let's play videos but edited? There's a lot of options, and I'm not exactly sure which direction I want to go yet. So any input that you guys have is great. Love to hear that. And yeah, exactly, Dave. I know that some of you actually really like that I don't do a lot of edited content, and that makes sense from fans of this channel, because this channel has historically produced a lot of unedited content. So a lot of you, I know, actually really like what I do already. And that's fine. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to, you know, it would take a lot for me to switch to that type of content only, because it's not what I love doing. I love doing the full, you get to see my thought process type videos. So I would imagine I'm never going to stop that. GT&H Dosh style. No thanks. So yeah, share ideas that you have for particular formats, the ratio of recorded to actual YouTube, you know, just let me know what you guys think. I'm all ears. So I just wanted to let you guys know that's something that's coming. I already have a game that I know I'm going to play for the edited series. I'm not going to reveal that yet, but I'm excited about it. Now, I want to talk about the plan for February. What does it hold? It holds daily pie videos. At least that's the goal. I'm keeping it to a minimum of 5 a week for the month of February. Starting, I say the month of February, it's kind of already started. I'm a little late here, but starting with this week moving forward. I'd love to have videos every single day, but that does start to add up a bit. So we'll see. My minimum's at least 5 a day, or 5 a day. Ha! 5 a week. And on top of the other videos that I'm doing, which will be The Long War of the Chosen, which has been a ton of fun for me. I freaking love that game. The strategic layer, back and forth with the tactical layer. It's just the perfect game for me. I always get sucked into it every time I play, and it's so fun. The viewership has not been super high, but I'm hopeful that it will continue to grow over time. And I'm just really enjoying it. And I'm a firm believer that streamers should play what they want to play. And sometimes, even if a series isn't getting the best viewership, that doesn't mean you should stop. And so I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going with that one. I don't know exactly how far, you know, I don't have a super high confidence that it'll get to 100 episodes, but at the same time, you never know. Maybe it will. Like I mentioned, we'll be working on this edited project. I don't have a specific ETA for that because I don't even know exactly what I'm doing yet. I just wanted to let you guys know that like it's coming, it's happening. Please give me your thoughts on the matter, and you can do that on Discord. We can chat about it or just leave comments, you know, in the YouTube video. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into editing. I think part of the issue with editing is I've always felt like it's more time than it's worth. I'm like, why edit for 3 hours when I could make 3 more, you know, Factorio videos? But I do think there's a level to which I have some goals, kind of some more back of the mind, deeper seated goals for the channel that if I never really get decent at editing, they'll never be able to be realized. So all that to say, I'm excited about that, and you can look forward to that video showing up on the YouTube channel whenever it does. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I'm really excited for February. I think it's going to be a good month. The weather is still cold, but I'm looking forward to the spring soon. And as always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you. I appreciate all that you guys do participation-wise, and if you're a lurker, thank you for lurking. Big heart to you as well. Thank you so much for the Prime sub, Dave Cobra. Very much appreciated. And yeah, to all of you, I hope you have a great February, and I'm looking forward to what it brings. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.